Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Futures Brizio again. It's now 2 p.m. on Thursday, the 26th. Just a follow up to the video I made a few hours ago. And let's just take a quick peek at copper. So, if we go back to the futures chart, and you can watch the video I made this morning, the CFD chart, and we go back and look at this. Let's see here. Natural gas we want to look at. So here's the 1 hour chart of natural gas. So this morning I was talking about this area kind of being a retail support area. You can see we have 1, 2, 3 attempts to hold this area. And what I was saying this morning is that we are in an uptrend in this market. And so what happens is you have retail, smaller traders looking at this zone right here as a support area, and they try to buy off it. And you can see this candle right here in the 1 hour chart. Price came back into here, wicked, the buyers tried to step in and buy it again off this level, and you can see it failed. And now we've closed below. So anyone that went long off of here, especially like I said, small retail traders, especially trading on lower time frames, probably have stop losses sitting just below here. Many of them are probably either in drawdown or have closed their positions altogether. And so you can see I had this area drawn out as a potential reaction zone. And secondarily, there is a fair value gap sitting right here. So, or an imbalance. You can basically say we have this area right here. We have a 3 candle set, right? This candle, this big one pulling out of the area, and this one where the wicks don't match up. Now, again, I'm not big. This is kind of like a smart money thing, and I'm not an SMC trader. I'm not an ICT trader by any means. So, trust me, I'm not. But it's an interesting thing, and sometimes fair value gaps play out, but a lot of times they don't. But there's two things in play here. We have this zone right here, which I still felt was a good pullback area for long. And then if you are an imbalance trader, we do have this imbalance candle pulling out, and actually price is sitting basically right inside of the body of this candle right now. So I'm obviously not going long right now because we still don't have any impulsive movement to the upside. I'd probably, maybe go to a shorter time frame and look for maybe like a structure break of some kind. I don't really want to get into that too much because we don't have it right now anyways. But I did want to just kind of update you that this is pretty much what I expected to happen, that we would break below this support area right here, which we have. Price is now back retesting it again as resistance. But you can see they're very small candles. They're also kind of, late into the session here. And so we'll see. I still think that we could push further down into this zone. Now, there is another zone further down here. If it gets through here, then, we could see price push even further down back into this area here. But ultimately, I think this will turn back up. I think this is a more obvious first zone. I don't think this extreme one, it'll get this far, because when it came out of this extreme zone, it didn't take out any of these recent swings over here. So I don't really count this one, but this one's still basically valid. It has not been retested. Really, we made this little high here, came back, retraced, and then went up. But this area has not been revisited either. But again, this could go significantly further down into here. But the main point of this is just to point out that, we have a retail support area for those that just trade support and resistance, that this is a lot of times where the big traders will trap you. They know that retail traders are seeing these multiple touch point support areas in this case. And, they're trying to, just buy, in this case, buy the market when it comes back to these support areas. And then again, they push it through with sell orders. They take out stop losses because there's probably a lot of stop losses sitting just below this swing, and it puts them into drawdown or stops them out, or just they manually close their positions because they say, okay, the support area didn't hold, so I'm going to get out of this trade. And then that eventually fuels the move back to the upside. But mostly what's going to fuel it is the large traders and the institutions and the producers and the users, all the, the people that really are, want to, follow natural gas prices will step in and buy. And so, again, my thought on this is still we probably will make our way down further, whether it's back into this shaded zone or whether we crack through here and come down even further. I don't know. If it does close below these lows, then I think it will make it down into this area. We don't really necessarily have any fair value gaps down here, but we do have an unmitigated zone. And so I think that's a possibility too. You can see at the moment, like I said, there's no buying going on right here. Price is just kind of slowed down underneath this low, but you can see it's not really, it's just kind of ranging in these small candles. And again, this is an hourly chart. And again, this is the CFD, the cash market for natural gas. Okay. So I did want to point that out because that's kind of a follow-up to the video I made earlier this morning. The rest of these not really changed. Again, crude oil again is just trading inside of this range at this point. Again, this gray shaded box is that weekly, that kind of weekly support area that I showed you before. Here's the weekly chart. You can see this is a pretty wide area, but this is definitely an area where price has been bought up before. And then again on the daily chart, we had this touch off the trend line. Price tried to push down. So now we're at an interesting place. Are we going to put in a higher low, where it retested this breakout from the weekly chart? Are we going to put in a higher low and then go higher and, break through this trend line and maybe head towards the weekly trend line? Or are we going to push further down here into this weekly zone? And so again, on the hourly chart, going back to that, we're just ranging now. There's a lot of obviously push and pull here between buyers and sellers, and no one's really in charge right now. So I'm not doing anything with this until I see this clear out one way or another. But as long as we're trading inside of this mess right here, there's no trade there for me. And then copper continues its move up. We are moving now in copper. We have now moved into this zone on the daily chart. Now, like I was saying before with natural gas we were looking at a support area. This is a resistance area, but this also is a higher time frame. But we have moved into this area, so we'll see what happens now. If we break through this little zone here and get a nice definitive close like above this high right here or this high over here, then I would look for go to a shorter time frame again, look for a break, a retest, and then up towards this next area up here. But we'll see what happens. We could have a reaction off here to the downside, and I think in the short term we will. But again, as I mentioned this morning, I don't think this will be a big push like down to new lows. And the reason why is because we did put in this higher low down here. So, off of this move right here, if price failed to go down, make a new low, the buyer stepped in. So I do think, once we get up here, we'll see some kind of a pullback, whether it's after it pokes through here or even off this zone, comes back down a little and then breaks right through it. But I still am bullish on this, at least back up, towards these other highs up here. And then certainly we have this zone up here, which is really far away. But we're at kind of a critical stage now. So I'll just be watching this area. I'm not trading off this area. And my bias on this right now until it proves otherwise is still to the upside. This area right here with this little yellow line here on the daily chart is kind of my swing area. So as long as price remains above here, then I'll be looking for longs probably down, on the hourly chart or lower. So here's that line on the hourly chart. Here's that zone right in here where price broke out. And so, any kind of retracement down here and pop is going to be a buy signal for me. And then on the S&P, again, not a market I really watch too much anymore, but we are still very much in an uptrend here. And down on the hourly chart, we've been chopping around a little bit. We did have this pullback. Price, went and filled this little gap right here. So this could be going higher. So, I think pullbacks here in this market are still, buying opportunities for now. But we continue just to, push higher here. So that's SPX or S&P 500. So, and again, this is the index right here, as opposed to the futures market. So, all right. So that's where we're at right now, guys. The main point of this video is natural gas, but I figured I'd update the other ones. Not a lot of change since this morning. Pretty much following along as I expected. But we'll see what happens here with natural gas. This one I'm definitely expecting a long to pop in here at some point, but I don't know when. Could happen during the overnight session. I probably will keep an eye on it tonight and see. I don't really like opening any positions during the overnight session. But, if there's a good pullback in the setup there, I might take it. I don't know. But hopefully it doesn't come then. I'll feel more comfortable not taking it during that time. And then, like I said, with copper, hopefully we see some kind of reaction from this level, pullback, and then bounce higher, or a breakthrough here, and then a retest, and then higher. And again, as long as price holds this level around here, which you can also see on the 4-hour chart, as long as it stays somewhere like, right here, inside it, as long as it remains somewhere above this price, any kind of pullback from inside this zone down and then back up, or a pop through, retest, and up for a long. So, all right, so that's what I'm looking at. Figured I'd do a quick update. Again, smash that like button, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel on your way out, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. Thanks.